Good day, our wonderful and beautiful viewers at home. You are welcome to another special edition of our program tagged Let's Discuss. As you know, Let's Discuss is a program where we discuss on matters that concern youth in the society, and that is why we have tagged it Youth Forum Let's Discuss. It's a time when we youth will discuss and deliberate on things affecting us in society and how we can grow and develop ourselves to be better. Now, today, the topic before us is a fantastic one, which is titled Youth Against Violence. I remain your powerful host, I remain your wonderful host, Kayode Ayeni, and as you all know me, and today, I have some co-presenters with me here who will be discussing this program together. They are my co-presenters. They are beautiful ladies, very beautiful, as you can see them. They are beautifully looking, gorgeous, and right now they will introduce themselves so that you know them better. And to my left here I have Miss Moyo, you are welcome. And to my right,
Justin Alaufin.
Justin Alaufin, you are welcome. So as I said earlier, we'll be discussing on youth against violence, because it has been observed for a while now that violence in the country, violence in the society, violence in our communities, violence in our homes, violence in our schools, it is caused by youth. It is youth it is youth that brings it up. It is youth that act in violence. So now today we'll be discussing youth against violence. And before we go into the program proper, we'll go on a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. If you are just joining us, you are on to ABN TV, and our special program still remains Let's Discuss, a time where we talk on youth and things affecting the youth in society. As I said earlier, I remain your wonderful host. My name is Kayode Ayeni, and I have my co-presenter here with me. If you are just joining us, Moyolu Ajewole and Justina Alaufin. So today now we'll be going into the program proper, Youth Against Violence. You know, youth in the society, we are perceived to be energetic, we are perceived to have the ability and the capacity to do so many things that adults might not do. But to a very large extent, it has been observed that it is youth that cause violence. It is youth that bring up violence attitude. It is youth that cause things that are not legal in the society. They bring rage, they bring disagreement, they bring a lot of things that leads to violence. So today we're discussing on youth against violence. And to start with, Justina, you know, youth against violence, you know, is a topical matter in society now. So it's just like bringing youth against violence. Yeah. So it has been observed that it is youth that brings up violence. They are the one that prompts it to act. So what can you say about it?
Speaking about violence, we believe that violence is something like a misunderstanding between two people. And as a youth, this violence usually occurs between the young. They are agile and they still have some spirit to fight, though misunderstanding do occur sometimes. But I can see that violence really occurs among the youth in the society at large.
Youth in the society at large?
Yeah.
Okay, because for some reasons, like, what are the things motivating
them?
There
are some friends, they can be hanging out. Some people do fight at club over girlfriends. You understand? Some people do steal. Some people with peer group. Some friends, they influence them in stealing. Through that, they commit other illegal stuffs and fight in the neighborhoods and all that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Miss Monyoluwa, can we hear your side of the story?
Well, violence is causing cause in the society where we live in, as in causing trouble within that society where we live in. And mostly violence is caused among the youth through lack of parental care. When youth does not have proper parental care from their parents, there's nobody to lead them right, nobody to tell them what to do. And also through pressure group. Violence is also caused through pressure group. whereby you see your friend doing something, you be like, let me do what my friend is also doing. That is how violence is being. That is where violence starts
from. Okay, from your own point of view now, I could deduce, our viewers, I believe you are following, I could deduce that to a very large extent, the reason why some youth go into violent acts is because of the lack of parental care.
Yeah.
Okay, you are also in support of that motion. Okay, generally speaking now, let us deliberate well on that. You know, as youth, when you lack the care from your parents, when you lack the care from your guidance, when you lack the direction that you are to, or the path that you are to follow, there's a tendency you go into violence because there's nobody leading you right.
Yes.
Because it is perceived that our parents now, they know what the word owes and they know how things goes. But to a very large extent, if there's no direction from the adult to lead the youth, there's a tendency that will take things violently. Yeah. Now, considering the fact that the way things are going in the country, the way things are going in the world at large, there's no employment anywhere. Youths are just roaming about the street. There are some youths who are graduates now. They are not employed.
Yes.
They are not employed. There are some who wants to venture into entrepreneurship, but there's no fund, there's no finance for them to move into it. So now they tend to do things violently, like entering illegal acts and criminal things that they are not to do. So what can you say about it?
It is true frustration. Can you imagine? Yes. Can you imagine a youth being a graduate without any job? At least they are frustrated. They will be like, what can I do when I'm not useless? Let me try and do something. That is when their friends will now lure them into different aspects of illegal stuffs, illegal drug dealing, then yahoo, all those things that are not very good, that are illegal in the society because they need money.
Thank you. Can we hear your side of the story?
Well, there is this saying that says that an idle man is the devil's workshop.
Yes.
When, as a young graduate that has no job, he has nothing doing, you're just sitting there that does not have anything to do, definitely the person will just, one day, the person can even just wake up and say, what can I even do? We go to their friends and they will start this act of violence. And even when that maybe someone just offended, just little offense, they will turn into something which can lead to violence. But if it's an adult a boy that has that is employed, that goes to work every day, that wake up and say, I'm going to work today. There's no how that such person will go into the house of violence.
Exactly.
I'm learning. They will not think about it. Good. Viewers, I believe you are learning something because considering the fact that the way things are going, like you said, that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. To some extent, I know some youths out there are watching us now and they are learning. But to a very large extent, they have their ground that they are not idle, in the sense that they really want to do something, they want something for themselves, but to a very large extent, they are incapacitated.
Yes.
They're incapacitated, so they now resolve in doing things violently. And some of the things that you do violently is, youth going out, snatching bags from people in the market, picking pockets, stealing in the banks, and all sorts of illegalities and criminal acts. These are things that youth now resolve to. But today our program is set out to encourage, to motivate, and to teach youth that violence is not the answer for your situation, for the circumstance ravaging you right now, for the things you are passing through, for the negativity you are seeing in your lives or your flow and activity. Resolving into violence is not the best option. Now, I'm coming to the matter once again. As youth, just like as children, it has been observed, like we were children before we become youth now. So when you are a child, when you are still young, there are some children now that it is the violence that they are seeing in their neighborhood, seeing in their homes, that they tend to inculcate, in the sense that when they see a situation whereby the dad is beating the mom, or the mom is fighting the dad, fighting, disagreement that leads to quarrel, and they will be, giving themselves blow, beating themselves, things like that, violently at home. Children, when they see this, they will tend to grow with it. So by the time they grow, by the time they become youth, they will also inculcate it. What can you say about that?
Well, it's true with what you say, but there are also some children that grow up within such situation but they're not into violent acts.
No, but we're talking on children that to that to a very large extent they are minimal. But you know, children they tend to do what they see. You know, when they are seeing children, they learn very fast. When they see that their parents are into violence, you know, their parents are fighting every day, their parents are quarreling every day, they are giving the same punches, you know, the child will learn and will start doing that. So when the child starts going, so we are looking at it from that light now. The child in such situation and how he or she can go.
Well, how he or she can cope with such situation, let him or her sit down the parents and talk to them. Because if you don't talk to them later on, there's a tendency that you yourself, you are going to also inculcate that habit in yourself. When you also grow up later on in life, when you get married, that is how you also continue to behave. But even if you don't want to talk to them, you also know that what they are doing is not something that is right. You can also say within yourself that, no, I don't want to do what my parents are doing, so as for me not to be violent in my society, or when I get married, I will not be violent with my wife. It's a matter of decision here now. If you would like, you can just say, I want to take up with what my father is doing to my mom. With that, I will also be violent in the society, because there's no how, if you are doing such a thing at home, when you come to the society, technically you'll be violent.
You'll be violent. You try to practice.
You'll be violent because it is if you don't have someone to beat at home, you don't have someone to fight at home. But when you come out to the community, you will mingle with your friend. There is with slight misunderstanding, you take it up like that. You flare up. So definitely, if you don't want to become someone that is violent, it is within you. You say, no, I don't want to follow the footsteps of my parents. I don't want to follow the footsteps of people within my society. This is the way I want to go my own way.
And this is how I want to do things. I'm coming back to get ready for this question. You know, when you started, you were saying the situation whereby the child sees the parents being violent. It is the child's decision not to follow it. But you know, as children, to a very large extent, there is a way your knowledge can go. I'm coming back to that. I will ask you just now. Just get ready for that. So, what's your side of the story?
Parental factors in this instance. There are a lot of influence a child can inherit from parents.
Okay.
You are in the same house, you see the way your father and mother are behaving. If you are not civilized, if you don't go out, that is the way you will behave. You will believe that, okay, so far my mom is beating my dad, my mom always insults my dad, my mom slapped my dad slapped my mom. You know, you will believe that that's how other families too are doing. So by the time you go out, you become violent. It is you sitting down and thinking that, okay, this thing is bad. Let me try and create a positive influence into my parents' life. The way she has said it, sitting them down and advising them, Mom, Dad, violence is not even good. Show good example to us. By so doing, we too will also follow good steps, and then everything will be settled.
Okay, I'm coming to that as well. I'll be back now. But let's hear Ms. Mungi's side of the story. You know, like I said earlier at the right time, that children, there's a limit to the way they can go, like their knowledge. You know, as a child now, before you become a youth, you are very small. There are some things you don't know. There are some things that you might not be able to exhibit and exercise until you come to the youthful age. You know, we are taking it from the children aspect of view now. Now, as a child, you see your parent doing violently at home. You see your daddy and your mommy fighting. You see things happening, disagreement, quarrel here and there, and just like you said, that the child has the decision not to follow them, or the child will sit them down. Then, like just now said, I'm coming back to that as well. To a very large extent, you as a child, it will be very cumbersome for you to sit your parent down and start advising them. Because they see you as being small. There are some parents who will tell you, well, what do you know? Do you know what I'm facing? Do you know what I'm... At that time, you are incapacitated. There's nothing you can do. So, as a child or as a youth now, as a youth now in such situation, what can you do?
As a child, it's true the child might not have a say. But like you said as a youth, there is no how. As a youth, there's no how you will not be able to talk to your parents.
And they will agree with you?
Yes, they will agree. Especially the mother. There's no how you want to sit her down, telling her this is not the right way to do it. This is not the right way. That she'll tell you that no. But we all know that our father, they are very, very stubborn. They would like to behave like a man in the house. But notwithstanding, there are sometimes when you call them back, that the way you are treading is not a good place for you to tread. reluctantly, they can reverse back their footsteps. It's not as if you tell them you tell them that they must do this thing with force. No, you must talk to them politely. Being a youth, talk to them politely. But as a child, it's true. You might not have the capacity. You might not have the understanding to tell them that this is the right way to go about it. You must not. But being a young child, you also know that yes, this, because we all know that beating someone is not good.
It's very bad.
So when you see your mother beating if you are a 5 years old girl, you see your dad beating your mom, you will know that definitely what your dad is doing is not good. You still have that understanding. And being a 5 years old girl, it is that understanding, that mentality you grow up with.
Okay. Before you proceed, I would like to, sorry for cutting you short on it. You paraphrased the statement where you said, to a very large extent, the youth now will have, as a youth, you have a say, like, closely to the mother. Or you said the fathers are very stubborn. Fathers, I apologize. I believe you apologize to them because you said they will be behaving like head of the house. For real, they are the head of the house. Sure. The head of the family. So, and their decision stands. Yes. Whatever they say stands. But mind you, as a youth, your input in that house is still minimal, in the sense that so far you are still under the umbrella and under the tutoring and direction of your parent. There is an extent to which you can go. The extent to which you can, there are limits, there are restrictions for you. It's true, you can walk up to your parents and tell daddy, mommy, I want you to minimize this thing you are doing. It's not really helping us. We don't want to do it. We are not happy the way you do it. But to a very large extent, it takes the conscience and the consciousness of those parents to really comply and concur to your advice. So in that situation now, what will you do if you are the youth where you have been trying to call your parents to order to advise them, even pleading, imploring them that they should please stop it, and the thing keeps increasing, didn't stop? What will you do?
Well, what I will do, I think I will call on, let me just say, I will call on our spiritual father,
okay,
church, like
pastor, imams,
and our maybe our aunties and uncles. They can come in. Yes. Because if you should call on the pastor, like now, if you should call on the pastor will know how he's going to talk to them. Maybe you can help them in prayers, you understand, to stop such acts. Because if you did not tell anybody, if you are talking to them and they still do not use what you've said, and you calling on people, I believe when you call on people to come and advise them, there will be a limit to what they are doing. They will change. They will definitely change.
What if they don't change?
They will change. There's no way they are not going to change.
Okay, there are some persons who will change instantly, but the thing will still come up. So what can you say about it?
You will still continue advising them. That is it. You will still continue advising them. But it's not how you just keep advising them. You call on people to advise them. They will not change. It's not possible. They will still change.
Because they are your parents.
Yes, they are your parents. Even before going to call on people to come and advise them, you just continue advising them. Because there's some system with the family whereby the father always beating the mother continuously every day. Then someone advised them, why don't you go to welfare? Report your husband to welfare. The mother was like, no, I won't report. No. It was the child that went to the welfare herself. She went there herself. She went to report her father herself in the welfare office. And they have to invite the father over. For questioning. And by the time the father, by the end of the day, the father later changed. He later changed. No matter how stubborn you are, you will still later change. But it's just a gradual process. And it's not something you do with force.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be honest, I believe you are learning something. These are wonderful and powerful words coming out, because these are things that we are experiencing in our world today. These are things we are seeing. These are things that are happening and we cannot do without. Remember, we are still talking on why youth get involved in violence. Why youth get involved in violence, and we are taking it from the aspect of the parental view now, that some parents, it is because of the things they do at home violently, that's what the children sees and they do as well.
I'm Babatunde by name.
Okay, so as a youth, what can you say about youth involving in violence in the country?
Violence is a last cast attitude that is not palatable in our community, in the nation as a whole. Now, the youth that are involved, there are many things and there are many causes that makes youth to involve in a violence action, which it can be eradicated. It can be easily eradicated.
Okay.
Now the governments are the one that are the main cause of all this. Now I say this all because the governments are the one that are supposed to provide all the amenities needed for the youth. Now youth as an aged as a age person needs to work. Now after school leaving, what else do they need? They need to get engaged in work. But in our nation now, when we look at it now in our community here and there is no work. After school leaving, you graduate, even they want to employ you with little stipends. Now people will find another means just to survive. Now the government are the one to provide us all these things that we need as a youth. I myself as a youth, I'm self-employed, and I have to find things for my families to survive. Now when we look into our community once again, other nations, their nations like USA, starting from age of 18, they provide something good for them. When they depart from universities or their colleges, they find something good for them to be doing. Now violence in our community is not good. Now I didn't advise youth to engage in violence. Now violence can lead to many things. Even in our community, you can and then the latest news, the headlines of news now is raping or something like that. Yes, exactly. Now the raping, what caused the raping? Now people who did not have anything to do at home, just sitting down, they'll be reasoning on what can I do, just for a moment. Now they will start joining bad gangs, forming bad group influence, and which influence their life negatively. And violating the laws. Yes, thank you. That is violating the law. Now all these are not good. Now the government, like the Buhari, is doing good things that is helping the youth nowadays. Now we have about the Shopee. Then we didn't know anything about the Shopee again. Here we have now the Empires. In Osun State now we have what we call the OES Corps, and which many youths has been surviving through that. Now we advise the government to employ more youths in their sectors, in their ministries, so youth won't have bad minds or bad mindsets to any bad things in the community again, to cause any violence in the community.
Okay, thank you very much. So what's your advice to youth now? Because there are some youths out there now, considering the empower that the government is releasing now.
Okay.
It's for the youth majorly.
Yes.
So what is your advice to the youth now in maximizing these little opportunities they see, even though it's not coming frequently, but the little they see, they should maximize it and stop violent acts?
All right. Now the government are really doing good. I really give them the great kudos. All because of what? They have the sense to reasons to our own shoe. They dance to our own shoe. Now in our community now, I would just advise you to get engaged themselves in these things, in the empires and the Shopees or the Buhari youth Buhari youth farmers corps, that is, and initiatives. Now apart from that, we can engage ourselves in farming activities. That one is very, very sure. We can engage ourselves in farming activities, and which will be yielding more income for us. Now we have about the police corps that is online now today. I will advise you to engage themselves in obtaining the form to get everything set for them.
Okay, thank you very much. Your name was again?
Babatunde Adeyeye.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we have been discussing on youth against violence, and right now we'll be moving straight to the last point, which has to do with solutions to violence. Solutions to violence. It has been observed that now violence cannot be eradicated totally in the society. It cannot be eradicated. It cannot be curbed totally, but to a very large extent it can be minimized. So what are the things to do? What are the measures to put in place? What are the things we are to do? What are the things that people will see? What are the things that we are to inculcate and develop so as to stop violence? Ms. Justina, what can you say about that?
Yeah, let's start from school. When we start from school, secondary school aspect, there should be a guideline, rules and regulation on how students should behave before they move to their higher institution. And by the time they get to institutions and they still believe that they are still under some certain rules and regulations, the violence will be minimal. And by the time they finish, I enjoy that the government should try as much as possible to create job employment, because out of frustrations, that is what is giving us entrance on violence issues. By the time they finish school and they get job, they won't even have time to think about fighting, think about doing illegal stuff, because they will go to work and then get paid and everything will be set.
It'll be fine for them. Let's miss money. What can I say?
Well, let all youth, let us shun every bad vices, such as courtesan and all these illegal acts of us, like all these yahoo, all these things that are not
Cyber crimes.
cyber crimes. Let us be against it, and also let our government at least provide employment to our youth. Let them provide employment to our youth, and also even for those that are not able to get up, maybe they should provide a situation whereby we can access some funds to set up business on our own, because a lot of youth out there now as businesses they want to go into, they want to venture into, but they don't have that fund to go into such business. Let our business, let them provide an opportunity whereby we can access funds for our business, even if we don't get access to jobs, white collar jobs.
Okay, thank you. You have spoken well. You have spoken well. I'm coming to that now. Our youth out there, the measures to put in place first and foremost is to make a decision and a determination that you are not ready for violence. If you have that determination, it's an attitude, because it is what you like there is an adage that says your attitude will determine your attitude. It is from within. So when you are determined, when you have your own goals to follow, when you have your own determination, you have your own focus, violence will not be an option for you. So if you think you are into violence act and you feel you are just exhibiting it, no, check your inner mind. It is something you have to deal with so that your output will not be violence. Now, and the aspect of government, just like you said, government should put in measures to help the youth, in developing the youth in society, so that youth will not result in violence. Just like one of our interviewees said during the course of the program, he said government are trying their best nowadays, because through the Empower, you see, there's some recruitment, there are some initiatives that governments are now putting in place just to ensure that youth are doing something. But to a very large extent, it is not affecting the larger part of the youth in the society. It's not affecting. So what we are now pleading, what we are pleading for now, what we are appealing for now, is that government should do more. They should continue. They should do more. We want more initiative. We want more output. We want more things that can get youth engaged. When as a youth out there, if you are engaged in something, to resolve into violence will not be an option for you. You'll be focused on what you are doing and to develop yourself on it. Lastly, I would say, as a youth out there, develop yourself. Take time to really have a determined mindset that you will not resolve into violence, even when others are doing violence in your society, when others are doing it just to make money, when others are doing it just to make ends meet, when others are doing it just to eat. When you see somebody snatching bag, picking pockets, stealing money, taking people's things, you will not do that. When the determination comes from within, it will transact out. So from there, you will start developing yourself and you develop the society, in the sense that you are not part of the violence. If you take the mindset, you will not be part of it. So now we have come to the end of today's program. Thank you very much for watching. Our topic is the youth against violence. As a youth there, as a youth out there, as a youth in society, please shun violence. Our special thanks go to the producer of this program, Dr. Paul Arowolo in Houston. We appreciate you for your time and for dedicating your time to this program, the Youth Forum, and to our wonderful man behind the camera, Mr. Tosin. We appreciate you as well, and to the production editor, Mr. Olawore. We appreciate you for your time and dedication to the success of this program, and to my co-presenters, Ms. Justina and Ms. Moyoluwa. Thank you very much. Our viewers love you. We love you, our viewers out there, and I remain your wonderful host, Kayode Ayeni. Thank you for watching. We'll be back same time next week with another fantastic and wonderful topic where you can learn and develop yourself. From us now, it is a bye-bye.